those of you who are just tuning in or first-time listeners, I'm Kim Isaac, and I'm an autism specialist. I've been in the field for about 15 years. I'm a certified RDI program consultant and a co-host of this show. And with me, I have the amazing and unstoppable Paul. And Paul he's currently 29 years old, and he was diagnosed with Asperger's at age 23. And he comes all the way out here from Texas.
From Houston.
From Houston, Texas.
Texas is big. I mean, El Paso's 800 miles to the west.
Right, we need to specify.
Texas is about 4 or 5 states worth of space.
Yes. So today with us, we have some very special guests. We're really excited to have them here, and they're here for an amazing cause, which is to raise money for autism, and we really appreciate that.
They're promoting the Taiwan On for Autism event coming up in a couple weeks.
April 20th.
I can't keep track of all the dates now. It's like we've got yesterday we had the 28th was the art auction, I guess, and so
That's right.
So many dates in my head right now.
Yeah, we've kind of been we've been quite busy lately. So anyways, so we want to introduce our awesome guest. We have Lisa Masters with us. She is the author of The Funny Side of Autism. She's also a mother of 2 boys who have a spectrum disorder. And we also have Jay, and oh shoot, I forgot how to say your name, your last name.
Naddeo.
Naddeo, love it. Okay, so we're glad to have you. So I was thinking we definitely want to talk about the fundraiser. We want to understand better about your backgrounds and what's led you to be here today. So, Lisa.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You are welcome.
Well, my background, I guess it started 14 or so years ago when my son was born, and things just weren't quite right. And right before he turned 2, he was diagnosed with autism. And at the time, I didn't know it, but I was already pregnant. And, you know, in the back of my mind, I was worried that he too would have the same diagnosis. And my fears came true. So now I am a single mom. I have 2 boys on the spectrum. And, you know, that's how everything came to be, was through them.
Wow, okay, so that's obviously part of what inspired you to write your book.
Right.
And now you are inspired to share your book at this upcoming fundraiser. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, the book you're getting at the fundraiser is the second book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the first book is The Funny Side of Autism, and that was actually inspired because things were just really tough. You know, having 2 boys on the spectrum was such a struggle. There was a lot of loss. You know, lost my marriage, lost my home, lost my career. It was tremendous. But at the end of the day, when I looked at my boys, they were smiling. And, you know, I just said, okay, this is my problem. You know, I got to step it up. So I just started writing funny stories, and I put it out there, and it was an overwhelming response, and parents were just really desperate to get that message out, to show that side of their child. So it wasn't just a kid with autism, it was now their child with these silly, funny traits, and they made them laugh, and it was just, you know, a happy thing. And it became a coping mechanism for people. So that's how the first book was born. Put all the stories together and got it out there. Since then, I started a blog on Facebook just to help people. I figured, okay, we can share advice, we could tell funny stories, we can ask questions, we can vent, anything goes. Because these people, a lot of them are trapped at home, they can't get out, and they need some help.
And do you want to share the address of that blog for our listeners?
Sure, it's facebook.com, The Funny Side of Autism.
Okay.
Yeah, check it out. So I wasn't really planning on doing a second book, but by overwhelming demand, I was kind of forced into it. People just really, you know, wanted their stories out. Well, the fan base grew, you know, to over 5,000 and became international. Wow. Yeah, I was like, wow, these stories are from other countries, but they're still all so similar. You know, it was really just kind of a nice thing. So that's how The Funny Side of Autism Around the World was born.
Okay.
And so I was just thinking, okay, I really want to get this message out there. I want to raise money, and I just want everybody to have a good time. So that's how I came up with the idea to have the benefit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So here we are.
I'm really excited about it too.
Yeah,
I
too.
personally feel like this is a really, I guess, very light and enjoyable way to raise money and get together, and I know socialize and support one another. I'm sure that, you know, when you started your blog, you were saying, you know, it is a great way for people to connect and support each other, you know, with whatever they're going through. And so many times, and I love all of the events that we've had here in Arizona. I mean, you know, Jim Adams, the ASA, they have put on some amazing events, and I really enjoy them. And this one's very unique. I feel like this is kind of a trendy, you know, just very light way of just getting together and being supportive of each other. And so I'm really looking forward to it.
Good, me
I
too.
will definitely be there.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, I know. Paul, unfortunately, will be at home in Houston.
Yeah.
But he'll be there in spirit. In fact,
I've been in Arizona every 2 weeks for the last, you know, because I had that conference and everything.
Yeah.
So just don't.
So what's one more trip?
Well, I'm going to be moving, so.
Oh, okay.
yeah, there's a lot going on. But
So
anyway.
I don't have the time to make another trip, or I'll have furniture out on the street. So
Got it.
Well,
don't think that would work well.
Maybe I could Skype you, or oh, you don't have FaceTime though. We can't FaceTime. Darn.
No,
That's okay.
I
Well,
can Skype.
he'll be there in spirit. So Jay, welcome.
Hi.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? I've had the pleasure of sort of communicating a little bit with you on Facebook, and I know that you yourself are actually on the spectrum and had some, you know, experiences you wanted to share, and some things related to the benefit that you wanted to talk about. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself to start?
Sure. I'm, 24 years old, born and raised here, the first one in my family. My mom's from Milwaukee, dad's from Pennsylvania, and they've lived out here a long time, but I am the first one born and raised here in my family. And I was diagnosed after I turned 6 years old, which was November 1993, and it was Dr. Ron Melmed who diagnosed me. I'm sure some of you listeners out there have heard of him. He's one of the co-founders of the Southwest Autism Research and Resource Center. And so I have been his patient ever since now for over 18 years. And if it wasn't for his help, getting the help that I needed, and him telling my mother what she needed to do to help me get the help that I needed, I had to, overcome so many mental barriers in my elementary school years, because elementary school years are the toughest times for an autistic child. And it doesn't matter who he or she is and how, you progress. Dr. Melmed told my mother I could go either way, meaning I can be slightly autistic, which is normal, it look like normal human being as you see me now, yet still exhibit some traits, or I can end up so severe, whereas I would not maintain eye contact at all, my speech would be impaired, and also my motor skills, like reactions with my muscles, would be different and weird and such.
Wow. By the way, I love Dr. Melmed. He's amazing. He has such a big heart.
Yes, he really is.
He is. I know. It's great that you were able to find him, and that he was such a big support to you. I know. And actually, Lisa was pointing out he's an endorser of the book. Is he an endorser of both books?
Just the first
Just
one.
the first book? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen the second one.
I'm sure the
So-
second one if he read it, but
Yeah.
I went a different direction on that one.
Okay. So, wow. Okay. So, Jay, another thing I was, actually, I think maybe we'll take a very short break. And then when we come back, I want to ask you a little bit more about some of your aspirations and interests. I read some very interesting things about you on Facebook. And also, we encourage any callers to call in. You can call us at 602-296-3632.
Or text us at 832-278-1441.
And we'll be right back with more Understanding Autism.